Senator Barack Obama.
How are you, John?
Good morning, sir, and welcome to the John McDonald Show, Sunday edition.
Thank you so much for having me.
It is a pleasure to have you on. We've been talking about you this morning.
Uh-oh.
No, it has been. I'll tell you one thing. I was quite impressed that you put 7,000 people in the Bangor Auditorium.
Well, it was just a great rally.
It must have been.
Yeah, well, it was a great building, too, because the rafters just go straight up. And so
I'm very familiar with the Bangor Auditorium.
Right.
As a matter of fact, they say that you drew the biggest crowd since Cindy Blodgett. Do you know anything about Cindy Blodgett?
I confess I don't.
Big basketball star, and it was her last high school game.
Is that right?
And she rivaled you rivaled her crowd, which in Maine is pretty impressive.
I suspect she hit more threes than I did, though. But
have you ever been to Maine before this?
Yeah, well, we had a big rally in Portland when I was campaigning up in New Hampshire during the earlier part of the campaign. It's just a gorgeous state, and
yes.
People couldn't have been more friendly. Before we had the big rally, we actually had a economic roundtable at Nicky's Diner in Bangor, and we had a chance to talk to people just about their concerns and heard a lot from people who had retired from the mills and were concerned about jobs moving overseas, people concerned about health care and paying for their kids' college education. And so a lot of the issues that I've been hearing about from the people in Maine are common to the issues that I'm hearing all across the country.
What do you hear from your people in Maine about how it's going to shake out today with the caucus here in Maine?
Well, I think it's going to be a close race. Senator Clinton has a good base of support there, and she's got the governor, I think, supporting her and others. And so one of the things that we've counted on consistently is that we have a terrific grassroots organization. We have about 700 precinct captains who are working in their neighborhoods and knocking on doors and talking to neighbors. We know that it's going to be very important to see who turns out, and I think everybody should know that not only can Democrats participate, but independents can also participate, and we've always done pretty well among independents. So I hope that people take the time to participate in their caucus. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm always curious, Senator, by the way, we're speaking to Senator Barack Obama, candidate for president of the Democratic caucus today here in Maine. How does your staff prepare you for something like a trip to Maine, which might have been like a surprise schedule or something? How do they prepare you for something like that?
Well, typically, they'll provide me a briefing book to make sure that I'm familiar with any issues that have popped up recently.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said before, one of the things that I've found as I travel across the country is that there are really a lot of common concerns. In Maine, people are obviously concerned about the paper mills and what's happened there.
Right.
But if you go to Iowa, then people are also concerned about factories and manufacturing that has been shipped off. It may not be mills; it may be some other manufacturing industry, but the same trends appear. As far as healthcare, all across the country, people will say either they can't afford health care, their employer doesn't provide it. If they do have health insurance, oftentimes the deductibles and premiums are so high that they can't go for a regular checkup. They basically use it only in emergencies. When it comes to college affordability, it doesn't matter whether it's the University of Maine or the University of California. People are trying to figure out how to avoid getting $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 worth of debt when they graduate. So there are a lot of common issues, I think, that cut across regions. And one of the things that I try to do is to explain how, if we can get the American people to challenge some of the special interests that have come to dominate Washington, and really focus on the lives of families and the struggles that they're going through day to day, that there's no reason why we can't make real progress. One thing that is unique, I think, about Maine and places like my home state of Illinois, where we have to deal with winter. Home heating oil is a cost, is a problem that is really hitting people hard, and that's something that I heard a lot about.
Well, Senator Obama, I can say that my wife Ann is going to caucus for you this afternoon.
Well, you tell
and
Ann
I'm not
that
just
I
saying. I'm not just saying that because we've been talking about it. I am now unenrolled. I used to be a Democrat.
What happened to you, John?
I started doing a talk show, and people would say, "Oh, of course you think like that because you're a Democrat." So I said, "No, I'm going to unenroll." People know, they figure me out. I do lean toward Democrat. I'm a conservative Democrat.
Well, that's not a bad place to be. I mean, one of the things that I do know about the people of Maine, which I think is important, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, is people in Maine believe in paying their bills. And I think they're concerned about the fiscal irresponsibility that we've seen from the federal government. So, one of the things I've tried to do in putting forward proposals, I proposed that every single person gets health care that's as good as the health care I have as a member of Congress.
Yeah.
And I've talked about a $4,000 tuition credit for every student every year to help them defray college costs. But in all these proposals, I've said I'm going to find a program that I'm eliminating or a tax break that I'm eliminating to make sure that it offsets and that it all pays up. And because I really think it's irresponsible to run up a credit card on future generations, and that's, I know, an ethic that the people of Maine care a lot about.
Senator, where are you calling us from this morning?
I am calling you from Virginia.
You had some big wins this weekend, by the way.
We did. We won in Louisiana. We won in the state of Washington. We won in Nebraska. And so there are, in addition to Maine today, we've got Virginia and Maryland on Tuesday, as well as Washington, D.C. So somehow my staff keeps on telling me at some point I'm getting a day off, but I haven't seen it yet. Some
story I read this morning said you got a big reception at a dinner last night in Richmond.
Yeah.
And you and Mrs. Clinton we crossed paths, but you didn't actually meet last night.
Well, we didn't actually meet, but Senator Clinton was there as well. Yeah, we're part of a fraternity or sorority of people who rack up a lot of frequent flyer miles.
Senator Barack Obama, we want to thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, and I hope everybody turns out to those caucuses. This is one of those elections where you don't get a lot of opportunity to make history. This may be one of them.
I know my wife Ann will be there.
Thank you so much.
So there's one.
That's not bad.
Thank you, Senator Obama.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.